Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is just going to be a TTC update or trying to conceive update, just because it has been a couple of weeks since I put up our full journey and you guys knew where we were at. So I do have a couple of other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about as well, just with our journey. So in this last cycle, I decided that I was going to take Letrozole again. So I didn't call a fertility clinic or anything like that. I just decided that I've already taken it before. I'll just give it another go, and I'll actually take it for the 4 days, not the 3. Just hopefully it'll shorten my cycle and give me a baby. So I did that when I got my period and everything like that. I did get a couple of headaches, which can be a side effect of Letrozole. It wasn't too much fun, but other than that, it was okay. And I think that I just ovulated maybe over the weekend, I'm not too sure. So I'm guessing I'm in the 2-week wait. I was actually going to get ovulation tests and start monitoring it via that again, but that screamed too much effort for me. So I just decided not to. So anyway, that's where we're currently at, the 2-week wait, and yeah, fingers crossed for this month, but we shall see. Also, I did start to track my, I do have a couple of things written down, so if I'm looking down, it's so I don't forget anything, because I am hopeless. So what I was going to say was, I actually started charting my body basal temperature, or BBT, for some people if they don't know what it is. So what you do is you get a chart like this. You might not be able to see it, but it has all your temperatures written down here. It has the days of your cycle along the top, then what date it is, day of the week, and what time you take it. And then you color in like these little dots here, what your temperature was on each day. And then down the bottom, it also has an area for your cervical mucus, or CM. So I take my temperature on a little digital thermometer. I actually got this a couple of years ago in a kit of 50 pregnancy tests and 50 ovulation tests, or strips. So yeah, it came with that. It actually came with a chart as well, but I just found one online, a blank template, and printed it and started using that one. So yeah, that's what I take my temperature with, and I was trying to take it same time each day, just as soon as you wake up. And it seems to be working. However, I did note on there that if you have like a fever, painkillers, or alcohol, plus there's some other stuff, so it'll actually alter your temperature, so you might not get accurate results. So I had some beers on the weekend, so I stopped charting it just so I could get accurate results. I think it was more just a test run to know that I wasn't going to get overly obsessive with it. And it was quite easy. Take my temperature, write it down, and away I went. Like I wasn't symptom spotting, going, oh my God, you know, and logging it in. So I think I might try that again for next cycle, just to see how I go. Like, I'm not doing it so I can go, oh my God, exactly pinpoint ovulation or anything. It was just for my own curiosity. People, you know, some people swear by it, some people don't. So I thought, oh, well, I've tried everything else, so why not that? What else have I got on here? So I also wanted to talk to you guys about IVF and my thoughts surrounding IVF at the moment, because I know I said in the last video that I wasn't ready for it and I was looking quite negatively at the whole IVF experience. So in that time, I have had a little bit to think about, and something that's really, really helped me, so I was just putting my hot chocolate down. So something that's really, really helped me over the last couple of weeks is this book, You're a Badass at Making Money. And you're probably thinking, what has that got to do with IVF? Well, one of the major components when considering IVF, of course, everyone knows, is money. It's expensive. So when you're under 30, it's about $3,000. That's heavily rebated because obviously you're in your prime baby making years. And when you're over 30, then it becomes a little bit more expensive. It's about $6,000 to $8,000 because, well, you should have had kids earlier, apparently. Anyway, so money has always been a factor for me in considering IVF, as well as, you know, the emotional toll that it would take. However, the money side would always win out because we just don't have that kind of money to throw at IVF. And I would always get so stressed because I don't want to leave it too late to try IVF, but also I don't have the money to do it. So I was always stuck between a rock and a hard place trying to get my mind about how we're going to do it and how we're going to cope and all this sort of stuff. So when I started to read this book about a couple of weeks ago, it completely just changed my mindset around money. And it was like I had this massive weight lifted off my shoulders because money was no longer a factor in considering IVF. And a lot of people look at me and go, oh, well, did you just whip up $3,000, did ya? No, I didn't. But the way the book talks about money and your thinking of it really, really helped me to get my mindset changed when looking at money. Definitely changed my mind about IVF. So at the moment, I would really like to consider IVF as an option for us going forward. It's definitely something that Dan and I will have to talk about soon. Been such a change, like a big shift when it comes to looking at that as an option for us going forward. Also with that, I think that I was subconsciously telling myself not to fall pregnant. And I know some people might think that's a bit, oh, how you doing, hippy dippy or something, or, you know, airy fairy. But I know the mind is such a powerful thing. And if I'm telling myself I can't do IVF because of money, what else am I telling myself I can't do because of money? And I know that, well, kids are expensive. So am I subconsciously telling myself not to fall pregnant or not let my body fall pregnant because of money? And like I said, after reading that book, and I'm not even a quarter of the way through, just after reading that book, it definitely has just changed my whole outlook on it. And I feel so much lighter. And don't get me wrong, like I'm not just going to be able to whip money out of thin air just so I can have a baby, but it's just the way you look at it going forward. And I just feel so much more relaxed. And I'm hoping that by me accepting this now, my body will go, okay, yeah, you know what, it's time. You know, I'm not subconsciously telling myself you can't fall pregnant because, you know, money is a massive factor in that. So this thought came into my mind on Saturday night. I was talking to my sister. We were talking about everything else actually. And then all of a sudden I just had one of those, oh my God moments. And the question I asked myself was, does having kids or babies define me as a person and as a woman? And it took me a split second to answer, and it was no. Just because society says I'm 28 years old, I'm married and have a house, that I should have kids, doesn't mean that I have to. And I know that a lot of people know that, and you know, there's still a lot of pressure coming in from people out there saying, oh, you know, when are you having kids? And they don't know the full story. But as a whole, like a stranger met me on the street and found out that I'm 28, I've been married for coming up 8 years, and they look at me and they're like, well, why don't you have kids? It's just an automatic thought process for a lot of people. But for me, I sat there in that moment and said, well, it doesn't define me. It doesn't define who I am at all. So I kind of made peace with that then and there, to thinking, well, if I don't have kids, it doesn't make me any less of a person or any less of a woman just because I don't. And I felt instantly lighter again. Like I just got like all this weight lifted off my shoulders just because of all this stuff that I've been subconsciously carrying around with me this entire time. It's just been this stuff that I've been worried about for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So coming off from that as well, it is actually our 3-year mark in a couple of months. Obviously, you're never going to be happy about hitting that milestone, but I am sad about it. Looking back, going, where has the last 3 years of my life gone? Because this has basically consumed me. But yeah, I've got very mixed feelings about it. 3 years. It's been a long time. Been a very long time. But anyway, so I just want to let you guys know, yeah, 3-year anniversary of trying to conceive is coming up in August. And hopefully we'll be pregnant by then, but you never know. So there you go, guys. That's just my little TTC update for now. So don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you wanted to keep up to date with our journey. Also, if you have any comments or questions, don't forget to write them below because I will get back to you if you have any. All right, bye.